welcome to your December tarot reading. It's Allie, your friendly mystic. If you're new or old here, I just want to say that it is a pleasure and an honor to be able to share energy and space with you. It's just a blessing. Now, if you're very familiar with my tarot readings, if you're familiar with reading tarot readings on YouTube, then you can probably skip this part and jump straight to the reading at this timestamp. But if you're new or unfamiliar and or want to know a little more about my reading style, then there's a couple things I'd like to go over. So this reading is intended for Gemini rising, sun, and moon, and any other particularly important Gemini placements that you have. I can't really get into the astrology on that. I have been meaning to put together a video, but it's just, I don't know, things keep getting in the way, so not really sure what that's about. My readings are timeless, so it's not really, my readings aren't meant, like, this reading isn't meant for December, as to a reading for December. It's just a reading in December is when I post it, I suppose. It's not connected to the particular point in time, or beholden to the particular point in time in which I post it. So there's no reason to get caught up on the date of when it's posted. If you find this reading and it's resonating, that's when you're meant to find it. It's really simple. My readings are also very general. So I don't have the ability to tap into every single Gemini placement at once. I'm only going to be able to tap into the Gemini placements that I resonate with. And as you'll hear me set the intention in the reading, for those that need it as well. So even if you resonate with me as a reader, you resonate with me as a person, maybe this month isn't for you, and I can't do anything about that. I set the intention so that my readings do the most good in the world, because that's what is meaningful for me and how I feel tarot reading is meant to be used. And then a little disclaimer about the words feminine and masculine. So I use those to describe energy. I don't intend those to be descriptors of gender or descriptors of sex at all. Everyone possesses feminine and masculine energy. So if somebody's showing up as a feminine energy in a reading, they could be a man. They could be a woman. Sometimes I will say a mother and a daughter, or I'll say a woman, a man. I might say those. I might specifically point out a gender of an individual, but that detail doesn't necessarily mean that that person is always going to be that. Is like in your reading, if somebody's fitting into it fits, but I'm saying, oh, it looks like it could be a woman, that doesn't necessarily mean it is, and that reading is still applicable to you if it resonates. I think that's it. So I like to start off with a major arcana reading. These are cards I've collaged myself. Oh, wrong way. I'll show you the other sides. So I've made these. So I like to pick one of these to kind of encapsulate the energy of the reading, and then the major life lessons that are overarching life lessons that may be present within the reading. That's going to end up, it usually ends up coloring how a lot of the interpretations, and it just kind of is the umbrella card, I guess. I don't know if you noticed, but I have these little, I don't know if you can tell, but they're these little ornament earrings I got from my aunt, I think last year for Christmas. And then I have a little bracelet. If you're celebrating Christmas, Yule, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, happy holidays to you. It has been a year, and we're going to get through it, and then we're going to go right into 2021 and have to deal with the fallout of everything that's happened in 2020. So I think we'll all really need December to rest, but let's get into these cards, all right? Source, spirit guides, guardian angels, benevolent ancestors, please help me to connect with the collective of Gemini and communicate the messages in their highest good for those that need it. Source, spirit guides, benevolent ancestors, guardian angels, please help me to connect with the collective of Gemini and communicate the messages in their highest good for those that need it. Source, spirit guides, benevolent ancestors, guardian angels. Please help me to connect with the collective of Gemini and communicate the messages in their highest good for those that need it. Alright, so Gemini. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So I was hearing the word December kept coming up in my head, which, I mean, this is a reading for December, so that might not mean anything to you, but it really feels like something is coming to, I'll hold this up for you, something is coming to some sort of conclusion, and there's a resistance to the conclusion. Or some cycle is coming to a conclusion, or you're really not willing, you don't want to start another one. It's almost like you're like, I'm done with dealing, you're like, I just want out of my karma. Can I just like opt out of my karma now? That would be really good. You can't, sorry, it doesn't work like that. Karma is a beginningless circle, or a beginningless cycle. Like, there's no start, and there's not really an end as long as you stay incarnated. So we always have to deal with the karma of our past, even if it's not really desirable. I think getting detached from it is important, though, not identifying with what's happening. It does feel like there's something it's just very hectic, and you kind of are trying to, you really want to retreat from the material aspect of this. You kind of want to just go, you just kind of want to fuck off. Pardon my language, but you just kind of want to fuck off. Maybe not. But, so, also, I was also picking up that there may be just a lot of suddenly very unexpected circumstances arriving for you. That's for some of you, not all of you. A sudden twist or turn of fortune, not necessarily of like good fortune, but fortune in the respect that it's just something is going to shift in your material circumstances, whether for good or for bad. It's kind of all up in the air right now. So, interesting. I think not getting identified with it is going to be the struggle. So, we'll set that there. And then we will look at your next spreads, Gemini. Alright, Gemini, so we have your 2 decks. I use a tarot deck for the main spread, and then I use a oracle deck to pull some advice. So we'll start with your main spread using the Golden Wheel Tarot. It is a gorgeous deck. Also, if you are interested in any of the decks that I own, besides any custom ones I've made, you can find those links in the description. Little brain kind of, I got distracted because I saw this devil card right at the bottom, and again, I think this is identifying with the physical manifestation, or being trapped in feeling that that is you, or your troubles are who you are, or you stop and start where your action stops and start, or your karma starts and stops, or starts and stops. So, what messages do you have for Gemini? What messages do you have for Gemini? What messages do you have for Gemini? I guess those are all coming. Actually, we'll start there. So first card out, the 4 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, I get this as like, I don't want to go. I don't want to move forward. I just want to stay right where I am, and kind of in my happy place. I guess though the 4 of Swords is not really a happy place, but more of just like, I'm in recovery and I'm not ready to come out of recovery, even though there's a sense of like you're ready to move forward. I have Temperance in reverse, the Ace of Wheels upright, and the Seven of Wheels. This feels very promising. Whatever this Ace of Wheels, it's very promising, but I'm getting this feeling of I'm just not in the right place for it. It's almost like feeling, what good could this new seed bring me if everything I sow is taken up? Or, you know, I like immediately see these crows and the Seven of Wheels and feeling as though the efforts I put in end up getting, any seeds I plant aren't sown. And I think partially the reason they're not sown is because, or sown properly, and they keep being, it's almost like your energy is being eaten up, or I'm getting the word spinning your wheels because the wheels are coming up. Like you're just spinning your wheels on something and it doesn't seem to gain any traction, but there's something that looks really promising, but we have a lot of experience with feeling as though it's just like something nibbling away at us. Just kind of like slowly eating away at us, and I think that's got to do with a lot of past experience around this. And then we're just not in a balanced place to actually be tempered about being in a tempered place to actually evaluate this Ace of Wheels properly. And this just feels really stable. It feels really strong. It just feels really promising. And I'm getting that I don't want to move forward on anything, because why would I want to? I'm just going to end up spinning my wheels again anyway, so why bother? And if we go back to the Wheel of Fortune we saw, it could also just be like, I don't want to start a new cycle. I don't want to have to grow anything, because last time I tried to grow something, it was really disappointing. It all fell apart on me. And if you do see this and you're excited by this ace, and it's pushing you out of a Four of Swords state, you still have to get into this Temperance. You have to balance this Temperance energy. Because at the moment, you're really in extremes. Either you're in extreme of optimism, blind optimism, or you are completely cynical about what it is. So, in fact, that's kind of how I feel about these two cards, is that oscillating between extreme optimism and feeling abundant around a new opportunity, and then cynical about your ability to actually grow and nurture that opportunity, or that it's not actually going to stick as much as it looks good. It just looks good on the outside, on the onset. All right, let's see what else. What other messages do you have for Gemini? What other messages do you have for Gemini? Okay, well, that's the one I wanted, but we got like, that's too many, Spirit. I'm gonna take that one. If it's meant to come back, it will come back. Ooh. Wow, we are really feeling some way about a commitment. Feeling really battered down and unable to actually commit and put the work into some type of partnership. Or we're not really focused on building or honing. I feel like a lot of the Eight of Wheels, or the Eight of Pentacles, the Pentacles are wheels in this deck. A lot of what the Eight of Wheels is about mastering your craft, or like putting in like concerted time and effort into one thing. And if there's no partnership, it really is more about just like not actually taking the
what's the word? The concrete, tangible, day-to-day energy. This is Eight of Wheels is very Virgo energy. So you're not really putting in the small actions, the small mundane actions to build the larger, um, like grander, better, more perfect world you want to live in. Or even there's a sense of like you don't want to put in the energy to like, have a daily ritual around balancing two halves of yourselves. The Lovers is your card, Gemini. Our card. This is about balancing the twins inside of you. If you really aren't in them, because you're kind of slogging through something. Like there's just this mucky blockage around something. I was just thinking about a blockage around a chakra. Um, Not sure what. Could be solar plexus because we're seeing. This feels very solar plexus to me. Um, and it's wands, which is kind of like personal strength and energy. But yeah, we don't want to put in the actual work to get out of this place. We feel kind of lost in this place, this Nine of Wands energy. Really defeated, really worn, ready, not like, I feel like these two cards are really related in that I'm just so beaten down, I'm not ready to get up. Or it's more of like not even an energy, like a physical energy. You have the physical energy, you have the physical strength and stamina to do what you need to do, but we are so almost mentally, emotionally still in this Nine of Wands that we don't feel ready, like to actually get out of a four of swords place. It's it's really kind of more, it's almost like there's not like the emotional processing hasn't happened, or it does feel like you're not willing to take the physical. It's kind of like when you're really depressed and you don't want to eat. Like, yeah, it's like when you're really depressed and you just don't want to do the normal stuff, but it's the normal stuff that helps you get out of the depression in the first place, or out of the depressive state. So if like, if you're depressed, staying in bed all day is not going to help your depression at all, right? If you're depressed, not eating or overeating isn't going to help you at all. Uh, as much as like as much as you don't want to do it or don't have the energy to do it, doing it just helps you maintain and build towards a brighter, more, um, just a happier place. But at the moment, we are really just kind of only seeing the where. And it does feel like these two cards, this promise, this Ace of Wheels, this promise of something really great. And it could be around finances and money, but it could also just be like the tangible manifestation of what it looks like and what it feels like, to be in a emotionally healthy place, or to be just satisfied, like to really like come out of that and be this fresh beginning, feeling and physically able to do something new, to start something fresh. But we can't seem to, we're in this end of this cycle with this Nine of Wands. But we do have to put in the work, physically, to move forward, because I think especially with Gemini there's this tendency to be like, well, I know all of that, so why do I have to do it? I have the specific knowledge around it, but it's the practice that's actually important. And I think Gemini forgets this a lot, especially with how flighty Gemini can be. I mean, we love Gemini flitting about in conversation and not committed to any topic or any specific train of thought or idea. It's but when it does become a problem is when we're flighty about our own self-care. We're flighty about like keeping some type of routine to actually keep us grounded. I do feel a sense of like just not being very grounded, and needing to get that way. Because I think of Eight of Wheels is a very grounded just willing to put in the work kind of card. Let's see. Anything else? I feel like there's more in here. I got 2. And then we get an Empress in reverse and a Hermit. I feel like I'm feeling as though this is some kind of inner reflection, a need to go inward to really examine where it is that we are blocking ourselves from being present, from being physical. I mean, not just like physical, like not just necessarily intimate with another person, but like actually present in the body. I feel like the Empress is really about that, being able to be in the body, being able to rejoice and be fully present with the physical. Very much like this Ace of Wheels. I see it interestingly reflected here. But the Empress, yeah, so how are you blocking yourself from this? I think you are taking, in this Four of Swords, Nine of Wands place, you're kind of reflecting on this, but I get the sense that it's kind of in, there's a sense of shame around it, like a sense of like, oh, why, oh, I'm so bad, I defeat myself at every turn, there's a lot of regret and feelings of shame around past actions, yeah, just like how you acted and how you neglected your body. It's very interesting that that's coming up. And if we're going back to the Wheel of Fortune we pulled early to start the reading, it feels like there's this new beginning, this new cycle that needs to begin, but you are still holding on to a lot of the baggage around the previous cycle, and you're unable to actually move into it. There is something, I do have to say, there is something a little mopey about this Nine of Wands with that Four of Swords in reverse. I do feel like Spirit is telling you, like, the pity party needs to be over a little bit. Like, I don't, it seems a little harsh, especially if you are going through like a very depressive state. It is necessary to get up and do the things you don't want to do and to raise your vibration. Even if you don't seem to, like, intellectually, like, I have this problem too, like, intellectually I understand the importance of having a regular routine spiritual practice that I do every day, and I know with Gemini it's really easy to get bored, so it's very important to find a practice that is flexible enough for you and can keep you engaged, because a spiritual practice that doesn't engage you, one, you're not gonna do on, like, with regularity, and two, you're not going to get anything out of, because it's about being actually engaged with it. And again, I think that's it. You're so internal right now that you can't get into the physical, and I think that does kind of relate back to the Temperance card here, is that the difference, or the balance, the tempering between being introspective, going in, versus being in the physical world, being present in the physical, really embracing and just, yeah, really embracing the earth element. I'm just not getting that right now. Let's see. Any other messages for Gemini? That's that. May have one more card. I like that one too. Okay, let's see, Gemini. We have an Eight of Cups with a King of Wheels. I feel like if this is for the person who's really hesitant to start something new with another individual, um, or not willing to put in the work into a partnership. I feel like that has something to do with you reflecting this hermit this hermit energy reflecting on a painful Eight of Cups moment. It's funny for those that this is timely to when it is posted. I see an eclipse here. I don't know if it's a lunar. It looks like a solar eclipse, um, but I feel it may have something to do with the eclipse coming on the 30th, or this is going to be playing out um, related to that eclipse on the 30th of November. This should be posted early December, so that eclipse will have already passed. Um, and the Gemini, that is happening in your sign. So be prepared to feel this, as particularly if you're ascendant Gemini, rising, sun, and moon. That will come through pretty powerfully. Um, if Gemini is angular in your chart, meaning it's the 10th, the 4th, or the 7th house. Um, and I get this. It could be okay. So daddy issues just came up with the King of Wheels in reverse. Some sort of situation around a King of Pentacles, King of Wheels person. Someone who is meant to provide for you, someone who is meant to be reliable, but was not. And then a Three of Cups in reverse. I have been getting the Three of Cups in reverse a lot. This came up for all of the Earth signs, I believe. Every single Earth sign got a Three of Cups in reverse. Um, this could also relate to feeling abundant and feeling able to put any effort and energy or to sow seeds in social circles. Uh, Something about feeling there's this feeling of vapid um, lack of real connection, or like vapidness in social arrangements, like not like there's really not a lot like going on. It's all happening on the surface. It's very much like seeing a pool and thinking it has lots of depth and then stepping into it and it's just like 2 inches of water with like some sort of reflective bottom or something. Like it's it's really feeling like you this connecting to people and really feeling there emotionally, which I'm not sure how that connects to everything. I mean, kind of, but that might also have something to do around a King of Wheels, King of Pentacles, Three of Cups with the Eight of Cups here. Just like a huge loss. It could also be, if especially if this is a relationship reading for you, um you were in a relationship with a King of Wheels energy, a masculine, some it could be like a it doesn't necessarily even have to be a um romantic relationship. This could just be like, connecting with a person, but some falling out between you and a King of Wheels, and then like a loss of all of the friends you've ever had. Like just every single connection you have suddenly just poof, like just vanishing right when you need them most. For me, this manifested in my life as a spiritual awakening where everybody I knew kind of just vanished from my life very suddenly, and leaving my ex-husband. So if that's my personal physical manifestation of a situation like that. Just to kind of make it clear, maybe give an example to help someone else understand. There is a feeling of hiding, like seeing the Four of Swords and the Hermit here. There's this feeling of like wanting to stay hidden and not wanting to come out of whatever dark place you're currently in. Because with the Nine of Wands here, these colors are just so similar. Um, It's just really not wanting to come out of this hermit mode. The Four of Swords, again, just a hermit mode. If you don't want to come out and be with people right now, which I'm seeing here is that you don't want to, there's like, I think perhaps this might be part of the issue for you, Gemini, is that this new opportunity here, whatever this opportunity represents for you, necessitates you to collaborate with people, and you do not have you don't have a good track record with collaborating with people in this capacity, whatever that means. This could be a social engagement, just a group of friends. It looks great and exciting, but you've been let down before. So I'm getting that these crows are very symbolic of the gnawing feeling you get around this. This is what gnaws away at you from preventing you from properly sowing seeds. In some ways, you don't put the energy into things because you are self-fulfilling a prophecy around social groups and relationships that you have. So just be mindful that in some ways that you participate in this and you don't mind the things because you're so used to them just being pulled out from underneath you. But I just, like, this is at the very center of the spread, this Ace of Wheels here. It just feels so good. I don't know why, but it just feels really good. It feels promising. It feels stable. It doesn't feel like it's just going to vanish if you take care of it and you mind it and you don't let these thoughts that you're bringing in from these limiting beliefs you have about being with people and being in a relationship because of the painful Eight of Cups moment you went through. You can't let that come in. And I see the three cards here kind of representing that, and then three crows here. You can't let that continue to hold you back and actually take away your ability to enjoy being present, being abundant, being putting in the work for yourself. You have to start somewhere. It has, if and with the Ace of Wheels, it can be very small. It can be a very small, tangible step, but it has to be consistent. And I know, Gemini, that's hard. I know from personal experience, it's very difficult. But I think we're at a really good place here with this. I'm going to now pull the spirit animal cards for you to provide some advice. But Gemini, this is a rough reading. I know it's not easy. This is very this kind of hits home in a lot of ways. So I have a lot of empathy for you. So let's see what advice we can get. Now, if you like my readings, you want to see more of these, please subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'd love to see you again. And if you'd like to exchange energy for this reading, claim it as your own, please hit the like button. Or you can comment to share what your personal experience is with this, or to any kind of comment, concern, question that you have regarding tarot reading, this reading in particular, how I got into reading, whatever you want to. I'll chat. I want to get to know you. And if you would like a personal reading, we can do that. I have a link in the description to my website, friendlymystic.com, that will give you all the information you need in order to book your own reading with me. So, Spirit, what advice do you have for Gemini regarding this spread? Spirit. I think it's this one. Let's see. What advice do you have regarding this spread? What spirit animal What animal spirit should Gemini harness in order to resolve, navigate the situation? That's the one. I think I have to pull 3. So, first card out is Dragonfly Spirit, 22, a master number. We have Bat Spirit and 5, and Crow Spirit in reverse, 17, breaking down to an 8. 22 is a master builder. Okay, so this gives me, the 22 really gives me Empress vibes in some way. The 4 is very a stable, tangible number, foundational, building, and the 22 is really about building in relation to each other. So this gives me the vibes of this opportunity or project in which you have the opportunity to build with somebody else, to create something with somebody else that you're really resisting. And the mantra underneath this is truth transcends illusion. Let's see if I'm getting that in frame properly. I am. Truth transcends illusion. So this really shows me that this is about the illusions you have around being able to connect with people, and the ways that you give away your own power. The story around Dragonfly, as I understand it, is trying to prove your power to other people allows them to take it away from you. So because you feel the need to prove it to other people, you allow it to be taken away. But I think this is more, I don't know if that resonates with anybody, but it may. But if anything, it feels like you're taking away your own power because you've allowed other people to dictate. You've allowed these people from the past to create this illusion. You've allowed yourself to create this illusion that you can't build or make anything with other people work. Any foundations that you have that you want to build are just going to be swept away from you anyway, so why try? But then we have Bat Spirit. A rebirth is assured. This really feels promising. This feels, and it's right on top of that Ace of Wheels. This means that, like, that you just, if you trust in this death process, if you trust in it's a very hanged man kind of energy, just allowing yourself to take a new perspective, the way the bat hangs upside down. But if you allow yourself, the rebirth will happen. You just have to actually be willing to be held in suspense. You willing to suspend your illusions. And then we have Crow Spirit, co-create with Spirit. So I feel, I mean, that's pretty direct, honestly, that you are being brought all of this now because it's time for you to actually co-create the reality that you desire. Because you want to have friendships that mean something to you. You want to have a relationship that's reliable. You want to be able to actually rely on yourself to heal and to actually put in the work it takes to unite your twins. And now is the time. But it does take releasing what it is that you've built up, this illusion you've built up from a previous cycle, because we're in a new one. Okay, I think that's it, Gemini. If you enjoyed this reading, I hope it was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. Take care of yourself, all right?